John Bolger with Premier Guitar. We are at the Bridgestone, and I'm with Joel Hoekstra of Trans-Siberian. Joel, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah,
I
man,
appreciate it.
Love your work. Love been following your stuff online, and of course, Whitesnake, Cher, Night Ranger, etc., etc.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. So
you know my resume.
yeah, no, you're right. Well, I think most of these people probably do. So this gig's got to be perfect because most other gigs slow down during the winter, and you just segue right into this.
Yeah, it's really been something for me to base my year around. It's consistent, and the guys I work with I really love. We got great band members. Chris Caffery, you're going to interview shortly, right over here.
Soon. Great guitar player.
Great guitar partner for me. Couldn't have a better partner in crime. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's kind of become the way I do the holidays. I wouldn't know what to do without the gig, and so I'm certainly honored to be here.
How long have you been doing this gig?
This is year number 10 for me.
Wow, that's
great.
Great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, great run. And you've been playing Les Pauls. I usually see you on Les Pauls, right?
Yeah, so the philosophy, the way things started with Trans-Siberian Orchestra was the classic guitar shape because of Al Pitrelli was really the founding guitar player or music director of the group. And it was kind of the black Les Paul. And then eventually white became okay and acceptable. And as things have grown and the production has grown, the philosophy has shifted a bit, and I kind of go also with like, this is a visual circus. The people can't see necessarily on YouTube, but obviously it's just an amazing spectacle of a show to see. So we've kind of evolved into that where a lot of the guitars are quite frankly just eye candy for a lot of the people. I could probably do the gig on, how many tunings do we have, Galen? This is my amazing guitar technician, Galen Henson, back there. He says 2 tunings that we're in, I think, for the show. But I could probably do the show on just a few guitars, but why not do it on like, I don't know, how many are we using?
We've got a dozen guitars.
12 guitars on this. So, and it's a lot of it is quite frankly just for fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of string changes.
Number one is still, of course, the classic Trans-Siberian Orchestra white Les Paul, the custom. And this is probably the second favorite guitar that I own. My favorite is my R7 Gold Top that has been around the world with me and that I've really bonded with. And that is not in this show for some reason. I don't know why. I've never used it.
Gold is such a Christmas color too.
Yeah, I think at the time when I started with this, that was my guitar with Night Ranger, and I wanted some separation. I wanted to use different guitars for different gigs, and I've always been that way. Like with Whitesnake, I have my own guitars for that. So anyway, this would be the number one. And I guess we could just kind of walk down the line in terms of what's readily available to us. I'm starting the show on this year. Just the new custom Firebird, obviously, from Gibson.
Very cool.
Not much to be said about it. It's a little bit, I would say, spongier sounding than a Les Paul, but it's got a really nice, beautiful, probably the closest guitar, sounding guitar to a Les Paul that I have in this particular collection. And obviously, visually, it's really cool and nice to look at. And so again, I could probably play the Les Paul, but why not just have a little variety for people? And it fits in with the TSO black or white philosophy.
And the ebony fingerboard, that's just beautiful.
Next up, a few years ago, this came into the picture from courtesy of Dave Friedman. I don't know if you guys know Friedman, mainly known for amplifiers, but Dave actually makes a mean guitar. I didn't know how good it was going to be until I got it, quite frankly. I had played a couple of his guitars at NAMM, but this is a gem. He makes really fantastic sounding guitars. And this actually, people ask me about. Our bass player, David Z, passed away a couple years ago in a tragic accident, and I just have his funeral card on there as a little bit of a dedication, so he's always part of the show. So those that are Trans-Siberian Orchestra fans probably are in the know about that, but maybe not some others. So we're Capo 1, obviously, and no microphone stand. So people often ask about this in pictures because they think I've got some kind of weird tuners happening. But if you get enough throwaway pics on this gig, which is a huge part of it, I think it's fan interaction with this and visual is like really, really super, super important to keep people visually entertained and engaged. So I do lots of throwaway pics during the show. Galen knows. He's constantly restocking. So what do we got next, sir?
Hey, speaking of picks, what sort of picks do you play?
Well, a Star Access is my endorsement, and so I use them pretty much for any of the acoustic stuff, and the stainless steel, they're picks for any of the heavy stuff. So I usually in my back pocket just have a stainless steel and then a celluloid. And I'll just go back and forth depending on if I'm playing acoustic.
And,
Yes. Yeah, did I say celluloid first? I hope I did.
Oh,
Maybe,
no, yeah.
maybe
no,
edit
yeah,
that
yeah.
out.
No, totally got it.
I might have misspoke. One thing I should mention, actually, a very important part of this gig is you either have to, with TSO, part of the philosophy is we've got 8 shows a week out here, so you have to preserve the singers' voices.
Right.
So there's no on-stage amplifier. So you've got a choice. You can go with ISO boxes or modeling, and
Yeah.
I've chosen to go with modeling, and I'm using the Fractal XFX2, which I'm sure we'll get to a bit later. But
Yeah.
due to that, and wanting to have sustain available to me at any time, a lot of these guitars have sustainers installed.
Oh, really?
And so, well, maybe not like 100% optimum for like the purest tone if you're going to play through like boutique gear.
Sure.
I find them an invaluable tool on TSO.
Oh, I bet.